The darkness beyond the door breathed. Fred's flashlight beam dissolved just 3 feet in, swallowed by the thick black. The air carried a cemetery chill, laced with the sweet rot stench of spoiled grain. Come. The voice didn't echo. It clung to their eardrums like tar. Shaggy gripped Scooby's collar. Really think we should? A wet thud from the tunnel spun them around. The Scarecrow stood frozen mid-lunge, straw fingers inches from Velma's back. Its stitched mouth quivered. It was afraid. Lucy stepped forward, her sneakers squeaking on the damp stones. It won't follow us in there. The moment her foot crossed the threshold, the whispers erupted, dozens of voices overlapping in a susurrus of half-words. The flashlight flickered, revealing glimpses of the chamber. Walls lined with yellowed corn husks, woven like funeral shrouds. A dirt floor sunken into a shallow pit at the center, and dangling above it, a noose made of braided wheat stalks, swaying without wind. Whitaker made a strangled sound. They never removed it? Velma's light jerked upward. The noose's frayed ends disappeared into shadow. Removed what? Something crunched under Daphne's foot. She lifted her shoe to reveal shattered animal bones, dozens, maybe hundreds, arranged in concentric circles. At the pit's center sat a burlap sack, its surface stained black. Fred moved closer. That's not just any sack. The whispers coalesced into a single sentence. She promised. The Scarecrow's shriek from the tunnel shattered the trance. It hadn't entered, but its twig fingers clawed at the doorway, sending straw flying. Lucy reached for the burlap. No exclamation mark. Whitaker grabbed her, but the moment his fingers touched her wrist, the lanterns along the walls whooshed to life, flames burning unnatural blue. The full horror revealed itself. The walls weren't lined with corn husks. They were wrapped in them, human-shaped bundles suspended like grotesque crops, their hollow eye holes staring. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Scooby's whimper barely registered over the sudden roar of whispers. The burlap sack at the center began twitching. Velma's voice cut through the noise. The symbols outside weren't keeping the Scarecrow in. Her flashlight trembled on the noose. They were keeping this in. The sack split open with a sound like tearing flesh. Bone-thin fingers emerged, then a wrist still wearing the rotted remains of a 19th-century cuff. The thing sat up slowly, corn husks cascading from its shoulders. When it spoke, the voice came from everywhere at once. You took my harvest. The Scarecrow howled in the tunnel, not in triumph, but in warning. Whitaker pulled Lucy back as the thing unfolded itself to impossible height, its elongated shadow swallowing the blue lantern light. The whispers became a chant. She promised. She promised. She promised. Fred grabbed Daphne's arm. Run. Now. But the exit was already sealing itself shut, corn husks knitting together like living flesh. The last thing they saw before the doorway closed completely was the Scarecrow's silhouette, its arms outstretched. Not in pursuit. In warning. The corn husk door sealed shut with a sickening crunch. Blue lantern light pulsed erratically as the emaciated figure straightened to its full, unnatural height. Its elongated shadow consumed the chamber, stretching across walls lined with human remains. She promised me a harvest. The voice vibrated through the packed earth floor, dislodging bone fragments from the walls. Lucy stumbled back against her father, her shoes crunching on what she now realized were human finger bones. Whitaker's voice cracked. Samuel Hargrove. The original farmer. Velma's flashlight revealed the rotting cuff on the figure's wrist. Not just a farmer. The architect of this curse. The symbol matched those carved throughout the barn. The Scarecrow's distant wails grew frantic as Samuel's skeletal fingers extended toward Lucy. Your blood owes. Daphne snatched a rusted scythe from the wall. What deal was made? Whitaker's hands shook. The Hargroves were starving during the 1897 drought. Samuel bargained with something in these fields. His fingers brushed Lucy's wrist, where her birthmark mirrored the wall carvings. One child's life for a century of abundant harvests. His wife hid their infant when the time came. Samuel's neck bones popped as he focused on Lucy. The debt remains uncollected. The chamber trembled violently. Corn husk bundles rained down, bursting open to reveal skeletons wrapped in antique burlap. Fred shielded Lucy. The scarecrow wasn't hunting her. It was guarding the fields from him. Understanding came too late. Samuel's jaw distended, emitting a sound like grinding millstones. Outside, the scarecrow battered against the sealed door. Velma grabbed Whitaker's arm. "How do we break the curse?" Samuel lunged. Lucy screamed as his fingers grazed her arm, leaving blackened frostbite trails. Scooby leapt at the figure but passed through like mist and rotting fabric. Daphne swung the scythe with all her strength. The blade lodged between Samuel's ribs as he turned slowly toward her. "You cannot reap the reaper." The lanterns flared, revealing terrible truths in strobing flashes. The scarecrow's face appearing in the corn husk walls, its expression pleading rather than monstrous. Samuel's true form flickering beneath the human guise, a swirling mass of threshed grain and broken teeth. The pit beneath them, its packed earth bearing countless small handprints. Whitaker seized a lantern. "Fire cleanses all." Blue flames raced up the walls as Samuel howled. The chamber became a kiln of screaming wind and burning chaff. In the chaos, the scarecrow burst through the disintegrating door, its straw body igniting as it tackled Samuel into the pit. When the flames died, only one thing remained untouched in the ashes. A single stalk of wheat, curled protectively around Lucy's shoe.
Scooby-Doo, where are you? Monsters, ghosts, and clues to pursue. Zoinks and jinkies, what will we do? Stick with the gang, we'll pull it through. Fred says team split up and look around. Velma drops her glasses, crawling on the ground. Scooby shouts, hiding behind Shag, while the villain's running off with a suspicious bag. Doors are slamming, walls creak loud. Shaggy's screaming, we're not proud. Scooby laughs with a goofy grin. Time to unmask, let's begin. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Monsters, ghosts, and clues to pursue. Zoinks and jinkies, what will we do? Stick with the gang, we'll pull it through. Girl says team split up and look around. Velma drops her glasses, crawling on the ground. Scooby shouts, hiding behind Shag, while the villain's running off with a suspicious bag. The doors are slamming, walls creak loud. Shaggy's screaming, we're not proud. Scooby laughs with a goofy grin. Time to unmask, let's begin. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Mystery solved and we crack the clue. Scooby and the gang, it's what we do. Scooby-Doo, we're saying goodbye till the next adventure in the spooky sky. Grab your snacks, the gang's on the roll. With Scooby-Doo, we're on patrol.